Looks like we got a new friend! Everyone, and welcome to Tilt, the final episode in our Monday programming with the most wonderful DM, Kelly. Hey, Kelly Lane. Oh, hi. Before we go round, let's get the bot spamming things at you, spamming all of our links, all of our opening links. Today, it might actually be ended depending on where you are. I'm not sure how Streamlabs works, but it's the last few hours to get a Season 2 poster if you want to get one. That event is ending today, and we're putting up this season's posters until the end of this season. Also, there's some other links there about places you can find us, places you can support us, sponsor information. Big thank you to Mage Hand Press and Bird and the Storm Publishing who make this all possible. And there's some other things there with websites you can get 10 to 15% discount. And the tweet to retweet and support the stream if you would be so kind. Oh, the other thing, we currently have a GoFundMe up for some aircon. We are at £400 out of a £1,000 goal, and thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your support. It's you know, it's fantastic. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Why don't we start with Kelly Lane herself? Oh, hi, Kelly.
Oh, sorry, adjusting my lumbar support. Hi, I'm Kelly, Kelly Lane on Twitter, Kelly in chat. And I am managing the show today. I'm not going to say running it because I don't think I can tell these characters anything to do. Just trying to corral the cats. But yeah, how about we go around and everybody can introduce themselves, say your elevator pitch about who you're playing today, and we'll dive on in. So I don't know. I'm looking at, okay, with a brick.
Hey, I'm with a brick, Ray, with a brick in chat and everything else as well. I play Ipsis. She's an arcane trickster rogue and kind of the quiet one in the party, watches everyone bicker and then gets right to it. I'm excited to see what madness we get into this week.
And Scrat, you want to tell us about Lons?
Yes, indeed. Lon's Delight is a... we learnt a bit about Lon's Delight last week. She's got a bit of a backstory there. Growing up with some awful parents, something to do with a sister, and demons. And yes, she might be a momlock, but she's doesn't want to be.
And Jess?
I'm struggling to unmute. That's how I am. I'm Jess, Little Cup of Joe, everywhere on the internet, and I will be playing Sandor, our token human, out of this party full of tieflings. And ostensibly he is a barbarian. Mostly he's just a dude who has swords and a drinking problem, but it's fine.
And last but not least, Vera?
Hi, I'm Vera from Vera Says Dragons Just About Everywhere. I play Ransom, the asshole tiefling cleric, but you know, we kind of saw that he might have a heart last time, so who knows? That's all I got. Can you not? Sorry, there's a dog right there.
And actually, with a brick, would you be willing to kind of give us a quick synopsis of last episode?
Yeah, so if I'm remembering correctly, we started our journey up the mountain with our guide, who I'm blanking on the name, Ariel, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Yes. So we started on the mountain and we got into a bit of a rough patch. We came across the corner and part of like the stairs or like the pass to go up was awry, so we kind of had to throw some rope and do some jumps and everything to get across. And then we got a little bit further, and I'm blanking if there's anything that happened in between, but we got to kind of like a stopping point where she was like, hey, there's this cave, you guys can stay inside the night, but I can't go inside. And we were like, nah, you can go inside, it'll be fine. And we like dragged her inside. And then as we were like staring at a fire and this giant table that was there and all these huge chairs, we like turned around and she kind of poofed into this like radiant light, and she had wings and it was crazy and we don't know really what happened. And then we just all we all got a chance to meet each other's characters a little bit. We all sat around the fire. Part of us went to sleep, and there was one first shift, which was, I believe, Lon's Delight and Sandor. And then the second shift of the evening was Vera and myself. And we all kind of got to know each other. And then there was something that was happening at the end, but I can't remember. Something happened.
We ended up back at the town, right? We were by the lake.
Oh yeah, at the lake.
Yeah.
All
Everything
of a sudden
tilted.
It shifted. Yeah, everything tilted, and then there was water, and we started like drowning, and then all of a sudden we woke up and we were at the lake, staring like in the direction of where the town was.
Yeah, so you guys are currently kind of standing on the bank of Mirror Lake, and a little bit wet and a little bit chilly. And you guys were going to head in the direction of town, which you could see kind of, there's a little patch of kind of woods between you and town. But you can clearly see kind of smoke from the town framed against the still dark night sky. And you can head in that direction.
This is most peculiar.
Well, whatever's happening, we just have to move because I am freezing and I can't stand here anymore. Gotta move.
Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't think I had anything to do with that, just in case any of you were.
I don't think you did either.
Mm-mm. We can figure that out later. Let's go.
Mm.
And so you all kind of clustered together head towards the smokestacks or the chimney smoke, I guess, of town. And as you enter through the tree line, so you've kind of walked away from the bank and you enter the tree line, it feels a little warmer. It's not quite the frozen cold of dead winter in the mountains. The air actually has that kind of crisp spring bite to it, where everything feels kind of fresh and new. And you actually see the ground around you isn't completely covered in snow anymore. It's like some of the snow is beginning to run off. You can actually see little trickles through the undergrowth of melting snow heading to the lake. And you can see the first bits of kind of spring popping through the forest floor. In fact, you realize you can walk through this wood pretty easily because there's patches of kind of glowing moss around you, kind of lighting the way almost, making it easy for you not to trip or stumble. And I need everyone to roll me a perception check.
Where's my character sheet?
So this time, Sandor and Ipsis, you both have that tickle down the back of your neck, like you're being watched.
I'm going to kind of sink to the back of the group and just kind of be on the lookout and glance behind me really quickly. I don't want to cause any worry, but I just want to take a quick glance behind.
You don't notice anything, but you do maybe hear that whisper coming from the trees again.
Just be wary of the trees, everybody. I think they're doing that whisper thing again. So just don't listen, I guess.
And probably don't touch him.
Yeah, definitely don't touch them.
What was it that Ariel said we should do?
Didn't she say to avoid them or not pay attention? Or she definitely said to stay away.
Was
That was with the snow.
I was gonna say, was that with the trees or the snow?
The trees were just saying, oh hello, oh hello, oh hello, over and again. And she said not to start a fire.
Right, well, all of that sounds great. Let's be nice to the trees.
That is a shame. I was definitely thinking of starting a fire. You all look freezing.
A little bit, but it's not terribly bad now. It's just the fact that we're in wet clothes that's still a little uncomfortable.
I'm doing better. The infernal blood and everything, you know.
Hang on a minute, and Lonsdelight will start rifling through her pack. Welcome, Madam Gandalf and the Raiders. Oh, hi! We just picked up a tab from the Green Dragon. Oh, boy. I still think, though, I think the you shall not pass thing is an incredibly cruel thing to have as a raid cry coming into the academy. You know, some students could have an exam tomorrow. Anyway, she's going to stop and start rifling through her pack and be like, I'm sure I've got some blankets in here somewhere. And my equipment came with fine clothes, but there's no reason for Lonsdelight to have fine clothes. So can I just swap that for a whole bunch of blankets that just mum blankets, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to say that Lonsdelight has a mum bag, right? So it's
It's a mom bag.
That is so
probably
fair.
snacks.
That's so
They're-
fair.
Little shiny things to keep the children entertained. It's a mum
Yes.
bag.
Technically, Sandor has a second set of clothing, but it's not really the time nor the place to just swap.
Also, isn't all of our equipment soaked?
Yeah. It might be dry. I don't know.
Sandor, on your nat 20 though, there is a particularly large oak tree that you pass that seems to shake as you walk by, and you hear, "Oh, hello, wanderer."
He'll kind of pause and glance over.
And
Hey.
just a tree. You hear a rustle in the branches.
Please take your seats.
Okay, this one said hi.
That is
Oh.
good. You're making friends.
It's a miracle.
Right, can we inside somewhere before I die?
Yes, here, take this. And I'm going to pass you a slightly damp blanket, but it's still another layer, so I'm going to force it on you. Here you go, Sandor.
And you're able to kind of continue through this faintly glowing, whispering wood. And you come out at the backside of midnight. You're very familiar. You've come in and out of this back door a couple of times now. The big difference that you notice here from when you were here previously is it's loud inside. You hear music, you hear the clinking of glasses, you hear chatter.
Are they having a party in there?
Seems pretty fucking lively.
Well, it's probably warm, so and then
In-
this is
in-
just gonna run inside.
Yep.
Ransom follows.
And you enter into midnight. And you're in the back hallway, so you'll have to walk past the kitchen. You see, actually, it looks like a couple different people putting together food, running things back and forth from the back to the front. You're able to walk through the hall where a lot of the rooms are. Some of them have the doors swung open, people talking inside, and you can step into the main room. And you notice that, Sandor, you're one of maybe 2 or 3 humans in the room. This
Okay.
room is filled with the chattering and partying of people from all walks. In one corner, there's an Aasimar and a dwarf playing cards. In another, there are 2 tieflings arguing over their mug of ale. In one far corner, Ransom, you notice what just looks like a large shadow, but it has a humanoid shape. And all of you feel this calm settling over you as you've entered the Tavern of Midnight. Just as a bard in the corner, what is that? Some kind of fey-touched creature begins playing on a lute, a haunting sound, and a water genasi begins to dance for the crowd.
This is nice.
Do you see? Do you see the she's beautiful. And Ipsis is gonna kind of like weave a little bit so she can get a better view of like the player and the dancer.
And she's off.
Oh.
This is, Has Ransom ever seen midnight like this in the 3-ish months he's spent here?
There's usually a couple people from town that come in for dinner, some travelers that stop in for the night. They usually eat, have a few drinks, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and they're gone.
Lon's delight is looking over towards the 2 people playing cards. I haven't played cards in such a long time. She turns to Sandor and Ransom. Now you two behave yourselves. I don't want to hear any arguing, and don't get so drunk that you don't know what you're doing. Okay?
Yes, mother.
Uh,
Gonna get out of these damn clothes first.
Have fun.
oh god, I guess we're all just doing this then. Okay.
And Lon's Delight will run off towards the table where they're playing cards.
At the back of this, since we came in through like the back door, it sounds like, is there anything basically resembling like a mudroom here?
Not really. There's like the kitchen space. You all did have rooms here
Okay.
the night before.
All right. He's going to, like, does the layout of the place look still same as before? It's just different people?
Yep, it looks pretty similar to before. It's just a much more raucous crowd.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna weave on through the crowd and aim for the room that he had.
And you're able to find your room and find anything you might have left there. It looks like housekeeping basically has come in. Probably Soren has come in and straightened up the bed and done that kind of thing, but it doesn't look like anyone else is staying here.
Okay. He'll just take a few minutes to like check if his stuff in his bag and such is dry and take out his other set of clothes, which is a set of fine clothes that he doesn't wear often. He just keeps them in there for safekeeping. But they're probably drier than what he was wearing. So he changes that and like maybe runs something like his fingers through his hair. I don't think he has a brush.
And there maybe is even not necessarily a fireplace, but a small hearth in the room that seems to be producing heat. Pretty much every room has like a little tiny fire to help keep it warm through the winter. So you can even kind of get close and kind of dry off a little bit.
Yeah, so he works on drying off and then just sort of hangs his other clothes near that hearth to let them dry. And then we'll head back out to rejoin the group once he's changed.
And we're gonna pan over to Lon's Delight, who these two folks playing cards, they wave you over. They
May I join you for a hand?
of course.
Oh.
And you can tell that they're both pretty thoroughly sloshed.
Can I do a quick perception check of just how closely anyone's watching them? How much money's on the table?
Sure. Hard to say. This place is so loud and people are kind of everywhere. There's people kind of right up against the table. You're having to squeeze through people to get back over there. So
Okay, so what are you playing?
oh, we're just playing standard hand of poker. At this point though, we're all out of cash and we're just playing for drinks.
Hell, that sounds like fun. Sure, I'll join you.
And they deal you in and you're able to kind of play a hand or two. If you want, you can flip a 1d2. Ones you win and twos you lose.
Yeah, there's no point in cheating. There's no money.
And the other two look at you and like, I guess the next round's on the new guy.
And she'll sort of like look at her purse, which isn't overflowing with money. Yes. What is it you're drinking?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever Soren's been bringing us. I think at this point she's cut us off from the good stuff.
Excellent.
I would say Ransom's been paying attention to this And he sees a look from Ipsis ran off. He can at least try and keep an eye, and Sandor ran off. So at least he can try and keep an eye on Lancelot. He's just gonna kind of discreetly slip her a gold piece.
Would Lonsdaleite notice that?
I think, yeah. I think Ransom could probably almost come up to you and almost put it straight into your hand.
He does, but he kind of tries to do it so that the others don't notice it. Just he kind of comes up, stands by her, and then just tucks it into her hand, underneath her hand by her cards.
Excuse me, I want to go and see what they have behind the bar. And she'll get up and beeline towards Ransom.
Oh.
And the dwarf kind of says, I wonder if the two of them are a thing.
Ransom,
And-
what is this? You don't have to give me a gold piece. What is this
I don't
for?
have to do anything. I saw you looking at your purse, and you bought breakfast for all of us yesterday, or was that the day before? I don't know anymore. But no, I know I don't have to do it. I don't have to do anything. I chose to.
You can be kind.
No!
You can!
I am paying back a debt.
And she's going to take your face in both hands and plant a kiss on your cheek, like, oh, Ransom, you're so sweet.
He's making the exact face that I'm making. Please don't ever do that again.
And she'll give you a not a hug, because you know she doesn't want to force herself on you, but she's gonna give you like a shoulder pat, and then head over to the bar.
It's marginally more accepted, but now he's gonna try and slink off and get lost in the crowd because that was too much.
And actually, though, right before you kind of head off to the bar, Lancelot, the two of you, when you're standing together, are approached by a familiar face. It is the one other human in the room, Fletch. He's
Oh
just
boy.
like, what are you two doing here? And at that, we're gonna pan over to Ipsis.
So Ipsis is mostly watching, but kind of as time has been progressing, she would have rifled through her bag and pulled out her gemshorn, which is a horn made out of a goat's horn, like a flute, and kind of walked up to the bard and you said it was a water genasi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just like showed it and was waiting for them to invite me, and if they were, then I would join in and start playing along, kind of improvising.
Yeah, and they invite you to play. Everyone here seems surprisingly chill. But there's a moment while you're walking through the crowd that you actually stumble a little bit. Maybe you're distracted by the other group, but somebody's kind of bumps into you, and you stumble a little bit. Kind of bump into a few other patrons because of how thick the crowd is. But you can head up, make your way over there, and they invite you to play along.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna kind of dance around and play around with them for a little bit until I either see somebody from my group or kind of just it dies down.
And Sandor, are you heading back out to the main crowd then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
And
just went to get changed.
And as you really step into this room for the first time, kind of fully taking a look around, you see Lancelot and Ransom and Ipsis. They're all really easy to pick out of the crowd because you know them so well. You're also struck with the variety of this crowd. You notice the fact that there are Asmar and tieflings and Fey-touched creatures kind of all in here together. It would be a crowd that you may have never quite seen something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you walk in, you immediately see a large elven woman kind of stalk up to you. You see her interact with an elven man, and she just like sit to him, and she walks up to you, kind of marches somewhat dramatically.
He just kind of slows his pace a little bit. He noticeably does not look like he crawled out of a bale of hay anymore. He actually maybe like a little nobleman now. A bit more put together, although the clothing is a little folded.
And she marches straight up to you and says, "You're the one that broke my brother's heart," and takes a swing at your face.
He ducks.
Roll me that dex.
Yep.
Sandor, what did you do?
That's a good question.
Do you remember what you did? Probably not.
Nope. Oh, that's right. I have to click on the name of the thing.
And you're able to duck below this swinging fist.
He's like, what? What the hell?
And as you pop back up, you realize you see this elven woman go, "Crap," and she disappears.
What?
And then if you look far across, you hear the front door slam open and closed, and she walks back in.
Okay. He's gonna duck behind the bar.
Are you trying to hide from both her and her brother?
Not quite. Mostly just to hide immediately. I think he's gonna try to hide from her sight, but he's sort of gonna find, like, is her brother at the bar essentially?
Yeah.
He's gonna just kind of like crawl around behind the bar and then pop up in front of him. And just sort of be like, "Hey, do we need to talk?"
And he looks like shocked to see you. And he goes, "I'm so sorry about my sister, my love."
Yeah, she's
when I woke up that morning and I found you gone, my heart was broken.
Yeah, sorry, there were some complications. I didn't want to get you involved. It was for your own good. I swear.
I mean, it's been months though.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the run.
How can I help you?
You can help me by laying low. Pretend you never knew me.
But how will I find you again?
Don't worry, I'll come find you when it's safe, I swear.
You've kept me waiting for so long already. We had so many wonderful nights together that week, and...
So long? You're an elf.
Nights without you last forever. It's a lifetime even for me.
Yeah, well... Love is patient or some shit like that, right? You can wait.
Here, take my card. It has where we're staying with friends in town, and please, after the festival tomorrow, come find me. I promise I will talk to my sister about her behavior. She just... Sure.
I mean, if she's gonna do the punching thing, we may have to figure something else out, like a really long distance thing.
I promise I will talk to her and we will get this settled out. Now that you're back, I'm sure she'll calm down. She just was really worried about me. She always seems to think that I'm too naive when it comes to these sorts of things.
Oh, what? Don't listen to her. That's bullshit.
Of course. I mean, you found me all the way here.
Yeah.
It was clearly meant to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would have thought we'd meet here again together in Dusk?
Uh-huh. Yeah, who'd have thought? World's funny sometimes.
And he's like, find me tomorrow.
Of course.
I'm gonna go keep my sister away from you. We wouldn't want anything, and he reaches out a hand. He's like, we wouldn't want anything to hurt that beautiful face of yours.
Yeah, I know.
At least we agree.
Uh-huh. He'll take the card. Name or anything on there by any chance?
You see the name Johann?
Okay.
His face looked kind of familiar in the grand scheme of things, but he looked
He's
like
like-
your type.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, number 30 something maybe for the last month. I don't know.
But you have a name and an address.
Cool. Yeah, he's gonna just pocket that and just be like, take his hands. I'll come see you again, don't worry.
I look forward to it.
You keep on doing that. And he's just gonna move away.
He turns to walk towards his sister, who's like steaming over by the front door. She looks enraged, which is very different than the calm atmosphere of the room. And he turns back and you see them kind of whispering at each other, maybe arguing a little bit, and then she takes him by the one wrist and like drags him out the front door.
Okay. Johann. He'll go look for see if he can find like Lance Delight and the others.
So you can see Ipsis clearly playing along with the grumpy doggo. You can see Ipsis clearly. They have like a little bit of a platform, like a raised platform set up along one wall, so she's clearly visible. And you can find Lance Delight and Ransom, who have just been approached by Fletch.
Okay. Yeah, he'll Shh.
What do you mean, what are we doing here?
I don't how did you even get here?
We walked.
From where? You came in through the lake, didn't you?
I knew there was something wrong with that lake.
That's why you're all wet. Do you at least have invitations?
Invitations to
what?
what?
So what's Dusk exactly? Sandor says as he walks up.
We're in Dusk is...
This place?
Yes.
Could you kindly fucking explain that?
Will you give me a second?
This place is dawn.
Nope.
No.
Apparently it's dusk.
Apparently, we're in a mirror.
That's actually a really good way to explain it.
I mean, we
You're-
fell
you're-
through a lake. It's now called Dusk. There's more people than I've ever seen here. It's a mirror.
And most people get here through enchanted or
Looks like we got a
maybe
new
cursed, depending on who you
friend.
are, invitations. And everyone will have them for the festival tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Love Lindy. Welcome, and Raiders, oh hi! We're figuring out what's going on in this crazy town.
Stressed.
I'm sure we can get invitations from someone, couldn't we?
Lucky for you, I spotted you before anybody else decided to start asking around for them.
Do the invitations have names on?
No, not usually. They're just basically enchanted.
Can I just pickpocket the
paper.
nearest drunk person?
Would you like to just try and do this while Fletch is talking to you, or are you gonna wander off?
just like, look, here's one. You know?
Sure.
Oh god, please. Oh, I've got a reroll. I'm using it.
Wise decision.
That's better. It's still a crappy roll.
Roll, let's just roll like an insight check to see if you actually picked someone who was drunk or not, and that will set the DC here.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hope they're drunk.
It's gonna be one of those nights. Lonsterlight can't roll.
So you try very, very hard to pickpocket a surprisingly sober Fire Ganassi, who thankfully is so engrossed in his conversation that he doesn't notice. But really, rather than like finding a pocket full of invitation, you just kind of come away with a bunch of lint.
Oh, just wipe it on my damp clothes, I guess.
That was a sad effort.
Okay, let's not draw attention to it. Thank you. Thank you, Ransom, all the same.
I have a certain set of skills, Fletch says to you all. He's like, come over to the store. I'll get you guys some invitations.
What's the cost?
Wait, why do we even want to go to this thing?
Well, everyone here is going. It's the reason this place exists.
Okay.
And he goes, and he's like, and Ransom, to answer your question, after what you did for me back in Dawn, I do believe I owe you all one.
Fair.
Reasonable.
I tend to trade in favors anyway. After this, we'll be square.
Understood.
Sounds good.
Ransom noticeably perked a little bit at trade in favors, but then he kind of got a hold of himself.
And he goes, so do you guys want, you can either come now or you can meet me in a few hours. It's going to take me a minute to kind of find a big enough set of them, I guess. But if you come on over to the store later, I'll have them for you.
Can we not just enjoy the party?
Yeah, just if,
We'll go later.
if you notice anybody checking tickets, basically.
Run.
I don't really know how this thing works. Yeah, sneak out the back.
Great.
You got it. I may have to sneak out the back anyway if she comes back.
Who comes back?
Did
Did you start a fight already?
No! I ducked one.
I'm proud of you, Sandor.
Listen, if you see a
Two
cute
miracles one day.
if you see a cute elf boy and his crazy bitch of a sister, could you maybe warn me?
What did you do?
Him, apparently.
I'm not shocked.
You'd think I'd remember a whole damn week.
How smashed were you?
You know, who knows? It
It's
kind of blends together after a while.
not focus on the negatives, You're sober enough now to communicate with them and have a conversation. You didn't get into a fight. You're doing very well, Sandor.
You'll also note he is dressed very fancy right now.
You're looking very nice, in fact.
Yeah, it was the only other set of clothes I have.
That looks quite fine.
They're good. They suit you better.
Yeah.
And with that, he's just gonna turn away.
And there are, Ransom, you'll notice with your practiced crowd watching skills, you'll notice that there are a number of individuals here in Midnight that are giving Sandor more than one or two glances.
What kind of glances are we talking? Glances like, hey, didn't I sleep with you once and then you broke my heart? Or glances like, ooh, he looks fine.
More the second.
Okay. Making sure.
Sometimes both.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Blends together.
And Ipsis, from your perch on the stage, you can see, you can actually have seen kind of Fletch come up to the group and then very, very swiftly make a beeline for the front door and leave. Very unlike most of the rest of the patrons, you will have also witnessed the punch, the disappearing elven woman, the reappearing elven woman, etc. But you wouldn't have been able to really hear anything that was going on. You could just kind of see everything.
As soon as Fletch makes a beeline and I kind of see the group just together, I'll quickly stop playing, take a quick bow, tip my hat to the dancer in the other bar that I was playing with, and then make my way through the crowd to find them.
And you actually, when you kind of tip your hat towards them, they actually pick up, there's a hat sitting on the stage, and they grab a handful of coins out of it, and they give it to you as a thank you. It's like 10 copper pieces, and it's not a whole lot, but some kind of little bit for you to say, good job.
I'll take it and kind of shove it in my pocket and be like, thank you so much, and then snake my way through.
And you're able to get back with the group, but while you're kind of snaking your way through, I imagine you put your gem's horn away.
Yeah, so that gets put away, and then in my opposite little pocket, I'll put the coins away. And if I can possibly I want to try to pickpocket somebody on my way. Just like see if I can quickly snag something off, but it doesn't have to be money. I just want to try and pickpocket something off of somebody.
Sure. How strategic are you being of who you're choosing to pickpocket?
I kind of want to do one of those. I don't imagine many people are coming or any people coming up to me, but just like patting people on the back as I'm going through, just being like, hey, how you doing? It's super fun in here, isn't it? Like putting my hand on their back and their shoulders, and then eventually just kind of reaching for something.
Okay. Roll that sleight of hand.
Thank you very much, Roguish Puck, who's donated £20. With £20, you can gift a multiple choice wish. If you'd like to let us know in chat who you'd like that to go to, or you can DM us privately, let us know and we'll bring it into play. Thank you.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
Because I'm way too good at this to not do that.
You have a +5 to only get a
Okay,
service.
that's a little bit better.
Okay. And you're able to kind of make your way through, kind of picking pockets and shaking hands, maybe introducing yourself to the locals. It seems like everybody is very chill and having a good time. Nobody really gives you a second mind. And you manage to come away with like 3 silver pieces and what looks like maybe like a very fine pocket watch off of some gentleman. You're not quite sure what it's made out of. It doesn't really look like a precious metal, but just a fine pocket watch.
Put the pocket watch kind of in one of her random pockets, and then out of the 3 silver pieces, she's gonna tuck one in her hair and put the other 2 in her pocket.
And as you're putting this change in your pocket, you feel a piece of paper.
In my pocket?
Yep.
Can I take it out and see what it says?
Yep. And it looks like a torn corner of a roll of parchment. And it just says on it, watch your back. Mantra.
I'm gonna like quickly look up and look around, and do I see her anywhere?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna put it right back in the same pocket and just keep going till I find the group.
Okay. And you meet back up with the group quite a bit richer.
So, everyone having a good time? I sure am. And then I'm gonna pull out the pocket watch and like the 2 silver coins and shove them back in my pockets real quick.
Been shopping, huh?
Just a little bit.
Well, you're clearly having a better time of it than Lon's Delight.
Lons, you're not having fun? Is this not your scene?
Not what I meant.
She'll just like look at you totally confused.
Yeah, Lon's Delight doesn't like. I'm trying to think how to describe how she looks at the minute. She's sort of not out of place, but like she's kind of doing like a wallflower thing, you know? Like it's not really working for her. Do you know what I mean? Like
Ipsos will just like kind of come around and put her arm around her shoulder and just like rub it real quick. We'll probably not even be here for long. It's okay. You do your thing.
Do my thing?
Like, whatever it is that you're doing. If people really aren't your thing, you don't have to engage. It's okay. You don't have to feel out of place. We're all just trying to have a good time. Do you want a drink? I'll buy you a drink.
I'd love a drink. Yes, let's get a drink. Also,
All right, everyone.
I got a DM. That wish goes to Ray Witherbrick.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations!
And you too get to see the list. I'll send it to you in a second.
Awesome. Everyone stay here. I'm gonna go grab drinks, and then we're gonna do whatever we need to do.
One moment. Information.
Oh, there's information? What happened?
This isn't Dawn.
Welcome to Dusk.
But
We fell through the lake. We fell through a mirror. This is the mirror of dawn. Therefore, we're in dusk.
really?
Apparently.
Apparently there's a party that we need an invitation to, or who knows what the hell is going to happen, so Fletch is going to hook us up.
And apparently, Sandor broke someone's heart.
That part wasn't important, okay?
It's very important to me. Every piece of information that can be found is important.
I didn't even remember his fucking name.
Do you know it now?
Yeah. He holds up the card.
Good,
Apparently,
remember it. Could be useful.
Johann.
Could be useful.
Mm.
So, are we trying to meet with Fletcher now? Or are we going to wait? Can we have a drink first, or do we drink and walk?
I'm in favor of any option that involves drinking first.
Fair. And she'll just run off to the bar, grab the drinks, and just run fast back. Here. And just hands one out to everybody. So, drink and walk, or are we going to stay for a little bit? What do you say, Mom?
Sandor pounds about half of it.
Lots to like those two.
I'm good for whatever now.
Ransom doesn't touch it.
Are you gonna drink that?
No, but you shouldn't either. I
Okay.
appreciated it. Nope! He's taller than you.
Fuck it.
Lonslet's gonna lean into Ipsis. Look, they're fighting over a drink. Aren't they adorable?
If adorable is what you want to call it.
You
I
don't see
appreciate
it?
it, Ipsis, but I don't drink.
Well, don't waste it.
He hands it to Ipsis.
I hand it to Sandor.
Ah! He's a drunkard!
Happily takes it and now has 2 tankards in hand. And he's taking turns.
Way to enable him.
Well, Sandor
enjoy
does have
drinking.
2 hands.
So did Fletcher leave? Is he gone, or is he waiting for us?
He's at the shop, I think, right? Out of character.
Handling our
Yeah, he
documentation.
said that he would meet you at the shop.
Okay.
He's handling our documentation, apparently.
Well, if we need an invitation to go to this party, we might as well just go get it fast and come back before we get too many people asking too many questions that we're not prepared to answer. Because we don't
Yeah.
even know what party this is, to be fair.
Fair.
And right about now, a scuffle breaks out on the far side of the room. Looks like a few people may have gotten a little drunk and thrown some swings. And you see again, they both disappear. And you hear the scuffle continue for a moment outside, and then they kind of come back in.
That's weird.
That's very strange.
Yeah, when crazy elf lady tried to punch me in the face, she got vanished outside too.
Do you want to test it?
I think I know where you're going, and I don't think I want you swinging at me, no.
Oh no, I was going to say you can swing at me. You seem too skinny to take too many hits.
Alright, if you want me to.
Well, I just want to see if you end up outside or not.
Okay. Here it comes. He's gonna throw a punch.
Sandor, are you holding your back on your punch? Or are you actually gonna take a swing at Hans?
I don't think he actually can. Like he doesn't really have an off mode.
Oh no!
So I'm going to I guess I'll use my Tavern Brawler strike.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do.
Does an 11 hit you?
No.
And I Sandor, you go and take this swing, and you just hit Launcelite square in the chest, and your wrist kind of hurts.
Ow.
Look, Launcelite, you don't notice anything except for Sandor disappearing.
He did disappear.
And Sandor, you are surrounded in blackness for a moment, and you hear Soren's voice say, "Please, no fighting at midnight. Thank you." And you're deposited outside the front door.
Okay. He opens the door and comes back in.
Yep.
What the hell?
He trots back over to the group. So apparently there's probably some kind of enchantment or whatever that boots you the fuck out of the tavern if you try to fight.
It's probably the best security system I've ever seen.
Must save them a fortune in furniture.
Don't have to pay a bouncer.
Seriously. That's some heavy magic.
Anyway, it didn't do anything, it just kicked me outside.
Are you
Sorry.
okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. He just kind of shakes it out and takes his tankards back up and takes another drink.
And you guys are able to hang out. Does anybody want to do anything else here during this party? There's been kind of several different people kind of going up, taking their turn up with the instruments. There's been some more dancing, just a lot of chatter. You occasionally see a very tiny purple head kind of bob throughout the room, delivering drinks, disappearing for a little while and coming back.
I think Lonsdelight would like to finish her drink and then approach a hot NPC. What are my options?
What are my...
Show me the list.
Little did I know that this was turning into D&D speed dating.
You knew so long ago.
Ransom wants to watch this.
So you have the female water genasi who was dancing earlier, who is dressed kind of with jingles and baubles. You have a very brawny looking fire genasi who somebody tried to pickpocket earlier. There's the dwarf and the Aasimar that you were playing cards with, but they're both kind of singing some kind of drunken shanty.
They were pretty out of it. She wasn't into that.
Yeah.
She's going to approach the water genasi.
Okay.
At first, she's going to stand there for just like a moment too long, not saying anything. I saw you dancing earlier.
Oh, yeah? I think most people saw me dancing earlier.
It was very nice.
Well, thank you, sweetie. I always appreciate a good compliment. Can I get you anything?
Maybe I could, watch you dance again. Sometime.
Well, I'll be here through the whole festival. You just come on by any time.
Are you okay for drinks?
You mean you would like to buy me a drink, or?
Yes, I could buy you a drink. Yes.
Oh, you're cute. Sure, sweetie, sure.
What do you like to drink?
I am fine with an ale at the moment. Gotta make sure I keep my wits about me so that I can dance again later.
So maybe you would like a water?
Well, I think I have plenty of that already.
Yes. Yes.
water.
Sorry, that wasn't a joke. Ale. Ale. I'll go get you an ale. She turns and trots towards the bar.
Sandor, you witness all of this.
Yeah. He's literally cringing as if in physical pain. You're muted.
Ransom is also watching this, and he's just
He's
blank-faced, but a little bit amused.
Sandra's just gonna kind of creep to the bar so that he's there when Lon's Delight goes to get the drinks. So, that was really terrible. Do you have any concept of flirting?
No. Yes. There was when in the mercenary camps there was this guy that I beat up a few times and he beat me up a few times. You know, that was kind of hot.
I don't disagree. I have had a few that started that way, but this is not usually the setting for it. You could use your words.
I'm buying I'm buying her a drink. That's good progress.
That's a good start. Why don't you just make casual conversation and don't shout the words at her? Try it. Just talk normal. You talk normal all the time to the rest of us. Well, you talk like you're our mom, but don't do that part. Yeah, don't do that part. Just talk normal.
Ransom kind of leans on her other side. Just pretend you're already friends. Get rid of the nervousness.
Okay.
Also, here, he holds out the tankard that he had not gotten to quite yet, the one that Ipsis gave him. Drink like half of that. It'll help.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He'll clap her on the back with a good hearty slap. Get in there. Make us proud.
Okay. Mm. Oh, ale. I need an ale.
Soren? Liquor?
You see the purple head kind of pop back up from behind the bar as if from nowhere.
Do you know what the Genasi's favorite drink is?
Oh, I think she likes. Here, I'll get you something. And Soren pops away and comes back with a small shot glass, which seems to be filled with some kind of very hard alcohol with like whipped cream on the top.
That doesn't look like an ale.
That's apparently what she likes. She probably lied to you because you're awkward and weird.
Oh. Okay. I can turn this around.
Give her that. Tell her it reminded you of her or something stupid.
What's this drink called? She asks Soren. Because it sounds a lot like a drink we have in the UK called a slippery nipple.
It does.
No.
And Soren's gonna be like, well, I mean, they've just kind of taken to calling it the good time because, you know, you drink a couple of these and you have a real good time.
Okay. Good time. A good time. Shouldn't
You got
I?
this.
Should I have one too? Does that not look a bit?
Hmm.
No? Okay. I'll just take her this. This is fine. Okay, this is fine. I've
Can
got
do
this.
it. And he looks at Sandor. She's gonna crash and burn.
Yep.
And
Starts somewhere.
in her high heels with her very beautiful body that's, you know, covered in chainmail and all the rest of it, she's going to stomp across the bar like a warrior and stop next to the Genasi again.
Oh no.
Hello, I got you one of these. It's not an ale, but I asked at the bar and they said that you like to have a good time, so I thought, hey, you can have a good time. Here's a good time on me. What do you do? I'm a fighter. I crushed someone just last week. It was great.
Crushed. That's pretty dramatic. and it's very smart of you, sweetie, to ask about my favorite drink at the bar. That's a good one. I do love a good time. And she'll take the drink from you and shoot it back and kind of put it down on a table nearby.
Oh wow, the whipped cream and everything. That was very impressive.
I've had some practice.
Does it burn?
Not really. So, you said you were a fighter, huh?
Yes.
You know, me and the crew that I travel with are always looking for additional protection.
Yes, protection is always good. Are you offering me a job?
I'm offering you an interview. You said that's what you do, right?
Yes. Yeah, looking over her shoulder at Sandor and Ransom. She's like, yes, I would, love to have an interview for a job.
This is agonizing.
It's stabbing me. A lot.
I can't even flirt, and this hurts me. Or, I don't flirt, but this hurts me.
I'm very good with sword, mace, shield, two-handed weapons, unarmed,
Well, I mean, it's always nice to have a tall, strong, and horny individual around. So, and it looks like you have a bit of a crew, too. And she looks over and sees all of you staring.
Sandra's
Oh.
just kind of.
Yes, those are all mine. That one's Ipsis. She's the oldest. She's been with me the longest. That's Ransom, and that's Sandor. He's a bit of a. We're working on Sandor. He's, you know, he's a good boy. And Ransom, also a good boy, but very not good with the words. Abrasive.
Look at you opening up.
Oh well, you know, someone has to look after them.
Oh, that's sweet. Do you protect them, too?
Yes, I just protected them recently.
Oh, do tell.
And all of a sudden, she remembers Fletcher's warning about people asking questions, and it like crashes down on her like a ton of bricks, and she's like, "We went on a hunting trip."
On a hunting trip.
Yes.
Yeah, nobleman, you know, in the area. She showed us around and protected me.
He's very frail.
Really grateful. Yes, I mean, look at me. I'm so skinny. I do not understand these woods.
Looks like you could have used some protection earlier, dear, with Susie.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, she's a bit strong, isn't she?
She's a bit of a firecracker. But anyway, if any of you are, looking for some work later, you should come by. We'll have a set up at the festival tomorrow. Be happy to have you in the tent.
We'll keep that in mind.
Sure.
And the bard who had been playing with her earlier kind of comes up behind her and kind of taps her on the shoulder. And she's like, "Oh, I think it's time for another dance. It was wonderful to meet all of you, and I don't know if I caught your name."
Lun's delight.
Maritza.
Maritza. Maritza.
I'll see you all tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully.
Hmm.
Most likely at this rate.
And she heads back up to the stage. Kind of turns around and gives a wave.
As soon as she's out of earshot, I'm like turning back to like the group and like, that went awful, didn't it?
Well, at least she asked your fucking name. That's a start.
Welcome to the academy.
And
She didn't laugh.
And she offered you a job. That's good. That's great, right?
That was not the objective.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of where I was. But you guys gave me a thumbs up, so that's a good thing, right? Maybe?
You had some good moments, but they were vastly outweighed by the painful ones. It's fine. Apparently, she's into that.
Yep. I'm gonna guess that she likes him kind of dumb. Not saying you are dumb, just saying that was the perception you gave her.
Oh.
What a way with words.
Ipsis is mentally scratching off everything she was trying to remember on how to flirt. She's just like,
Wait, never mind. That didn't work.
yeah, just like silently like shaking her head to herself, like, oh no, don't remember any of that.
You haven't done this much, have you?
Her, Launcelot or me?
Both of you.
No, not really. It was never important.
You remember I told you last night that my father wanted to make the perfect assassin who could work their way into people's lives?
Yes.
Very quickly became obvious that that is not something I could do.
It all makes sense now.
I mean, apparently you can when you adopt them. But, from what I've observed, it tends to come with practice, so you might not be totally hopeless.
Tell you what, next time, just watch. He's been surveying the crowd, but
Oh god.
it's dangerous here because someone knows him, so he's not going to do anything this time.
You know what? After that, I feel like I could really use a good time. Does everyone want a good time? I'll get a good time. Ransom gave me a gold piece. Let's get some good times.
You're not supposed to say that. I did not. I did no such thing.
That's so nice of you.
I did not.
She's a sweet little... he's a sweet little cinnamon roll, really.
I'll go over
I
and
resent everything about that statement.
I'll go over and give a quick like tap hug and say, thanks for the good time. I know you're not a hugger, but I just want to thank you.
God, you're
It was
also
quick, I'm
touchy.
sorry. It was quick. It was quick.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, we might as well drink to the generosity of our friend Ransom.
Oh, head to the bar. Soren,
Tea, please.
how many good times can I get for a gold piece?
Oh god.
Practically enough to cover the bar, sweetie.
Do it on ransom.
Can I just have some tea? Please.
And Soren's like, are these all for you? Or are we doing like a round on ransom?
No, just us three. And Ransom. Ransom can have a tea.
Thank you.
And she for a gold piece, she kind of goes back behind the bar, and you hear a lot of clattering of like glassware, like shit, and like a couple other things.
Opening glasses.
And she pops up, she brings up, and there's like 15 of these little whipped cream shots, and then she's like, oh, hold on a second, and you see her like just run down and kind of bobble over to a different part of the bar. And you see the head bobble back, and she pops back up, and she's like, and here you go. And she gives Ransom, there's a teacup and a hot water and a sampling of tea selections.
Okay, well,
There is a god.
15, that makes 5 each. Cheers.
Cheers. Ipsis will only take 2.
Running on the assumption Sandor's probably tried these. How strong are they?
They're actually not that strong. It's probably like an equivalent of like, it's probably like 2 to 1, like half of an actual drink.
Okay.
It's mostly sugar.
Okay.
Ipsis will take 2 and then pour the other 3 in a remaining like flask, like her empty water skin. She'll just pour the other ones in there for later.
Whipped cream and all?
She doesn't know if it's gonna work, but she just
Oh!
pours it anyways.
That's
gonna
so
be real
innocent
weird.
and endearing.
Yeah, Sandor's gonna pop his flask and just drop a few in a couple of those before he actually drinks it.
Make him a little stronger.
Yeah, it needs a little more.
Lon's Delight just starts slugging.
So I'm gonna need a Sandor and Lon's Delight to make those constitution saves.
Yeah. It's okay.
Sometimes the dice speaketh.
And I'm going to use one of my rerolls on Sandor.
Oh no. That con save was too good, huh?
Watch him get higher, I swear.
Right. So reroll that again for me, Jess.
Sure.
I cursed it!
You haven't said anything, Vera. Could have been so good.
This is why Sandor swears he's sober most of the time.
I find that so appropriate for this situation, though.
It
I find it
really
extra
is.
funny that Lon's Delight actually has a better plus there.
It's so, like, in keeping that she'd get a nat 1 on this occasion, though. She's not trying to stay sober.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Oh.
Okay, well, so Sandor, you're fine. Like, you feel it. You've got your cheeks are a little rosy, you know, but you're fine. You're experienced at this particular type of task. Lon's Delight, however, what does Lon's Delight look like when she is completely drunk?
I think it's the 5th one that does it. She holds her composure right up until, like, the 5th one, and she's sort of got whipped cream on her nose and across her cheek. And but she finishes the shot and puts it on her head and then puts it down. These really do give you a good time.
Oh god.
Well, this is the first time I've ever seen this happen.
I think you've had enough.
We should keep her away from that nice Genasi lady.
Why did you have to mention her?
Are you sure? This might be the time to send her over.
You know what? I'll flip you for it. And she'll take the coin out of her hair.
This is a horrible idea.
Heads, we send her over. Tails, we send her to bed.
How about we not
Show me both sides of the
humiliate
coin
her?
first.
It's just a normal coin. It's just a normal coin.
All right.
You want to roll that 1d2?
I do.
Ones you send her over, twos.
Oh, how do I do that? What's the command?
Just
Roll. I think I got it. Yeah.
So 2, she stays and doesn't embarrass herself.
Yeah.
two, she stays.
Unless you two force her, the coin has spoken and she'll put it back in her hair.
I'm not doing anything.
It's fine.
And actually, the music has kind of died down. It seems like people are starting to dissipate from midnight, or it looks like there's a few people that are kind of going back to rooms or going upstairs to rooms. A few other people that kind of head out. A lot of them wave to Soren and say goodbye. And she kind of waves back like, "See you tomorrow."
As
Guess we should-
people leave, I was gonna say, as people leave, can I make a perception check to see if anybody's looking at us a little bit too uncomfortably?
Before we get too far from that scene, I think Lonsdelight will suddenly go, oh no. And she's going to turn and punch Sandor on the arm. Quite hard. But
Okay.
not to do damage.
Sure.
And when everything goes black, which I hope it will, she's going to start throwing up everywhere.
So everything goes black and you hear, "No fighting at midnight, please." And you're deposited out front, kind of right next to a conveniently placed bush.
And yeah, that bush gets covered, you know?
That is a good way to get outside fast.
That's so good.
Many reasons.
That's so good.
Ipsis, do you want to roll that perception check for me? Well,
Yeah.
and I think it's getting really quiet. There's maybe 5 or 6 other people still here. Soren's bustling around cleaning things up. You see prestidigitation little bits here and there, kind of cleaning up spills and stuff. Ipsis, you can hear Lonsdelight upchucking outside. You have a pretty good idea of what's going on there. And you don't see anyone kind of paying attention to you here in this space. It looks like pretty much everybody is kind of doing their own thing. Nobody's really paying you much mind.
Cool.
But you do still feel that kind of tickle.
Okay. She'll make a mental note and just kind of like shimmy and straighten up her back and just kind of compose herself for a minute. So, Mom is throwing up outside.
Yeah, I think we should
Let's collect her and get her documentation
yeah.
before
Sounds fair
anything
enough
else
to me.
goes haywire.
Yeah, and before we're transported somewhere else again, I guess we should, go see him and get that invitation. Did he even tell us what the invitation was for, by the way? Do you two even remember?
Maybe let's talk about that when there's no one around and we're behind closed doors.
Fair.
Well, let's go see if she's done spilling everything she's eaten for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Kelly, while this is happening, I have a quick question.
Yes.
While we were in the cave, Ransom said a prayer to his goddess,
Mhm.
and you said there was the feeling like they were in the right place.
Mhm.
Does he have any feelings from her right now?
No. Neither good nor bad. There's
Okay.
just like she's not checking in at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's not really checking in. You get the distinct impression maybe that there was... You don't hear from her very often. You don't... It probably actually surprised you to get that clear of a feeling or a message. And so maybe there was something special about that space that you were in. Or maybe that you were praying. But it's just, she's not going to... You don't feel like she's going to check in just anytime. Vera, you're muted.
He wasn't thinking that because it's like he doesn't exactly expect a close relationship, but he was just kind of curious in that moment since that was the first clear thing he's felt. So I guess at this moment he's just going to operate under the assumption that this is still apparently the plan.
Yep. You have not gotten... You don't have any feelings to the contrary.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And it sounds like you guys can head out. Soren kind of pops up as you're heading out the door. You see her purple hair just kind of check in and wave and be like, I'll see you guys at the festival tomorrow.
Yeah,
Sounds
sure.
good.
Sure.
And you can head out the front door where Lons is now I imagine kind of leaning up against part of the building, kind of slumped a little bit, breathing probably a little heavily.
Cuddling something.
Sandor's just gonna give her a pat on the shoulder. How you doing?
I don't feel very well.
Yeah, clearly not. Think you can walk, or you need help?
I can walk.
Come on, up.
Okay.
He'll just throw her arm over his shoulder and help her walk. Come on.
She's leaning on you heavily, but this really isn't necessary. I'm quite capable of looking after myself.
I'm sure you're fine. You're fine. We're gonna go this way.
When the alcohol started flowing, I really thought this was going to be in reverse. Then Ransom just starts walking.
You don't know me that well, do you?
And you're able to Sandor is able to prop up Lonsdelight, but not without difficulty. This is pretty much the only task you can move and you can prop her up. You can't really do anything.
I imagine a lot of it is like corralling her and keeping her from like going in every direction but straight ahead.
Yeah, yes. It's you're the sober friend, right? That's making sure nobody walks into traffic and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Ransom, you're kind of charging ahead. You know exactly where you're going because you're just going to the store. You guys have done this exact walk several times now. You notice that town itself, now that you're out kind of in town, the layout doesn't seem any different, but the buildings seem finer, bigger. There's extra stories on some of them. They're more put together. They don't look like they're maybe even decorated a little bit. They look different, but the layout of town is the same. And as you're heading across the street, Ipsis, roll perception for me. And now roll roll straight dex. A dex save for me.
A dex save.
Mm-hmm. And you are nicked in the shoulder by a dagger that has come out from behind you and has buried itself in your back. And you take 3 points of damage as this dagger kind of buries itself.
Ow! What? And can I pull it out? Like, is it able to be pulled out?
Yeah, you can pull it out.
No, don't!
Are you okay? What the fuck?
What the hell?
Lon's
she
Delight's
pulls
gonna
it
try and
out.
draw her sword.
Sandor's just gonna like hold her. No.
Lancelot,
What?
roll me acrobatics. I'm not letting you do athletics on this one. Okay, this is muscle memory for you.
Oh boy.
Like
You're
this vicious-looking longsword with barbs and spikes all the way down the blade is just suddenly in her hand.
How's she doing on staying on her feet? Cassandra would have jumped back to get out of the way of, being sliced in half when she unsheathed her sword.
I mean, I think 17 acrobatics battle
I
maybe
think
has
she's
sobered her
good.
a bit.
Yeah,
She's the adrenaline.
The adrenaline suddenly of her child in danger.
yeah. I mean, I think that you have that rush of kind of blood and that alertness that you get when something is wrong, and you're able to stand. You don't feel great still, but you're able to kind of move around and things like that on your own and not stab yourself.
I imagine Sandor has taken her shield or something because she wouldn't have really been able to put it on. So with her offhand, she's gonna like wipe her back of her fist against her fangs and spit and be like, "Which way did that come from?"
He'll toss her shield over to her, and then his hands are drifting by his long swords, but he's not drawing yet.
I don't. We were just walking, and I felt it. It from behind me, I suppose.
Behind
What
you?
does the dagger look like? Like, is it just a normal dagger? Does it have any markings on it? Does it
Roll
seem like it?
investigation for me.
Cool.
This dagger is not familiar to you, Ipsis, but it is distinctive. There are kind of some carvings on the handle, something maybe written there. Like it looks very ornate, like the kind of thing that might be a gift or a family heirloom. This is not something that someone would part with casually, but you don't really recognize anything special about it. Ransom?
Do I recognize it?
No.
Okay, good.
She's gonna stick it in like one of the straps on her leg, and just kind of quickly grab whoever's next to her and just be like, "We gotta go now. We gotta get inside."
Yep.
And just run towards Fletch's and get inside as fast as possible if the door's open.
Yeah. Sandor will wait a bit and let them go ahead and follow after, keeping his head on a swivel.
Lon's Delight won't be that far from Sandor.
I guess that means Ipsis dragged Ransom.
Yep. If you were close to me, I just dragged you along.
Even
Let's
drunk,
go.
she'd give Ipsis the look.
I'll explain in a minute. We just have to get inside.
And you guys are able to kind of get in, and you get up to the door and it's locked, but very quickly you hear kind of a rattling from inside as Fletch opens the front door for you and shuffles you all inside. He sees you bleeding, Ipsis, and gets really like, what happened?
I'll take out the dagger and show it to him and just be like, "Do you know whose this is? Somebody threw this at me while we were walking here. It's stuck in my back."
He'll take it from you and look very, very carefully at it, and he's like, "It doesn't look like anything to me. I'm sorry."
And
something I've seen before.
she'll
There's
take
a lot
it.
of new people here, though, so I don't know.
Okay.
Hold of it.
All right. Well then, somebody has it out for me. I knew this was gonna happen.
Pissed off any nobility in your life?
Quite the opposite. Where's Lonsdelight? Where's Sandor? I feel like we need
Right
everybody
here.
inside right now.
They're here.
And she's just gonna. Is there like a chair or a table around where she
Yeah.
can just sit?
So Fletch actually he goes to the front door and locks it up, and you're in the main room, but you actually there's a back hall, so you're actually in the store section. There's a back hall. He guides all of you through the back hall, and you actually kind of go upstairs to an area of the or you go into the back area of the building where there's kind of a living section that is much finer. Like this building is much bigger and much finer than it was back in Dawn. You guys don't really recall this section, but it looks there's like a whole house back here, basically. And he's like, "You guys stay here, settle in. I'll go put on coffee."
Fine, by me.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'll get you all some snack. I'm still finishing up with the invitations, but
It's
you guys
fine.
can have
Do what you
my
gotta
house
do.
is yours. And he goes around and he double checks and makes sure that everything's kind of locked, and he pulls, make sure all the blinds are closed so that you guys are in this somewhat dark and secure space. It seems like he's worried about people. He's like looking outside and pulls everything closed and leaves you be.
So they threw a dagger and then didn't follow up with anything.
I guess not. And as she's sitting down, she's gonna take off, like she's wearing like a big coat and like a kind of like a over cape thing, so that it's just kind of like she wears a tank top underneath everything. She's just gonna like kind of show everybody the cut and just be like, does it look bad? Does it look like something shouldn't be in there? Is everything okay?
Could I do a medicine check?
Yep.
I'll give you my reroll for that.
Sure.
I don't want to die.
That's better.
Monsterlight will not be making a medicine check. When we got in, she would have put her sword away, taken a chair near one of the doors or windows, and now she's sort of slumped forward.
So are you just checking to see if it's kind of normal, or
I want to see if there's anything caught in the wound. I want to see if there's any sort of poison that might have rubbed off on her skin. And if everything's fine, then I'm going to start stitching her up.
it doesn't appear poisoned. This was clearly a very high quality blade, kind of meant to find its mark. You can imagine that probably Ipsis got lucky. It's a very clean cut. It doesn't seem to have hit anything super important. It just is deep and ouchy.
Sandor will take up the blade and take a look at it if whoever has it on hand will let him.
Yeah, I'll take it out of like my bootstrap and hand it your way.
Hold still for me, Ipsis, and he's going to start stitching up her shoulder. It's small enough he doesn't want to use the spell.
Yeah, go. You can stitch up the shoulder. And Sandor, you don't really notice anything.
Just a fancy knife.
It's really fancy, but it doesn't ring any bells for you.
So I really wasn't gonna pay it any attention, but I got a warning that this or something was gonna happen while we were in the tavern, while we were at midnight. And I'll take out the note and just I got a note. It's from somebody I knew not so long time ago, but who I've known for a long time, and I trust her with my life. And I don't know where it came from, and I don't know how it got in my pocket, but it's a warning.
You got a warning from someone you trust with your life, and you didn't think anything of it.
Not at the time. I mean, to be really honest, we were all having fun, and I kept an eye out and didn't see anything or anybody. And even when we left, I thought we were okay. There wasn't really anybody around, and I didn't notice, unfortunately.
He'll hand the knife back over.
Next time you get a warning, maybe tell us all, so that we can all watch out for each other's backs.
Fair. Definitely fair, but I didn't feel like this was your burden to bear. I have a feeling this is my problem, something that they want just solely with me, and I don't want to bring you into that. It's not fair.
Here's the thing about that though. We're all here, so we're kind of involved by proximity.
Okay.
And Fletch comes back in, and he's got kind of coffee and tea and water and assorted bread and cheese and snacks, and he kind of hands it out to all of you, and he says, you know, while I'm finishing up these invitations for the night, at least, my home is yours, so feel free. There's a space here to sleep, the chair, and there's a spare room too for someone, but I'll leave you guys be, and I'll let you know when I'm done.
Thanks, appreciate it. Okay, so
And if anybody got any of that coffee or food down Lon's Delight, it might perk her up a little bit.
Ransom will bring her some food and some coffee. Here.
That's
feel better.
Duca.
No, I don't. Stop it. Stop seeing things where there aren't anything. Just eat and drink.
get some food and some coffee in you. It'll wake you up a little.
Just gonna make sure she doesn't choke. Oh god.
All right, so you got a warning from a friend. You damn near got knifed in the back in a much nastier way. That's a pretty fucking fancy knife.
And it's not something I've seen before, so I don't know who could be coming after me and why. I mean, not that I feel like anyone could be coming after me, but if it were the people who I think it might be, then this isn't something they would use. Quite far from it, to be really honest.
Okay, so how about anybody you know? How about this friend?
Her name is Mantra. She's not so much as a friend as she is more like a parental figure.
How many do you have?
This was my first, to be fair. Lon's Delight found me not too long ago, so when it comes to parental figures, I maybe attract them, or I don't know. The fact of the matter is, she was like a mom, and she raised me from nothing. She taught me everything I know on how to steal and how to trick, and she taught me my first spell, and I haven't talked to her, seen her in years.
Does she have any enemies that would make you a good target?
Not that I know of. I mean, we were part of a thieves guild. You know, that's what I was raised in, and we did a lot of stuff for a lot of people. I mean, not me personally. I more like supervised or watched. I wasn't really participating until I got older, but I mean, there are so many people we did deals with, and so many people we kind of screwed over in that process. The list could go on, to be really fair. Like I said, I haven't seen or talked to her in years, so it could be somebody that I'm not even aware that she knows. If it's somebody that's just out to get her through me.
Well, shit.
Wow, we are all kinds of one hell of a danger magnet, aren't we? That one
Well-
was forced to have a deal with a demon. This one's being hunted. I'm me. He's him.
Pardon?
Someone literally walked into that tavern and tried to take a swing at you. Don't even pardon me.
Yeah, but that's harmless to anyone but me.
You know, you say that now.
Well, either way, I feel like we all have to be a little bit more on edge.
When people make
we-
connections.
Yeah.
Well, just keep your eyes open and be careful, I guess.
And everybody else, please. The people that I used to deal with are really good at disguising themselves to not be what they seem. I haven't had to really pay attention to that in a long time, but maybe that's just something else to consider, especially with all these people in a festival going on. I would hate to have somebody else injured or wrapped into this in a negative way.
Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure we can all take care of ourselves in some respect.
I'll agree to that.
Mm.
Why do they call them a good time? This is not a good time.
Well, generally, you're not supposed to drink like 5 of them.
And you had a pretty damn good time while you were drinking them.
Also true. They're a little weak, if you ask me.
I don't think poisoning yourself is something you can brag about, Sandor.
Watch me try. He's gonna get some food and coffee. And pour a little from his flask into the coffee because he's Sandor.
I might go to bed.
What happened to the dagger?
It's back in my bootstrap. After I imagine Sandor kind of giving it back. I just put it back in my bootstrap for the time being.
And so, on Delight, are you thinking about heading to bed then?
I think it's for the best. She's not feeling good.
So there's kind of a plush chair in here. There's something that kind of resembles a cushy bench, and there's a guest room with another chair and a very, very large bed. And you all can book down for the night if you would like.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
Lonsdelight would think about it. I think if she went to bed first, she'd just go and wouldn't even take off her armor, just crash onto the big bed. Face down. Just out. There's probably plenty of room around her if anyone wanted to join.
And you are all able to kind of curl up somewhere.
So before Ipsis kind of beds down, I don't know if this will do anything, but can she take the copper wire that's on the necklace around her and cast message and point in the direction of where midnight is?
Okay.
And she just says, I don't know if you're around, and I don't know where you are, even if you are around, but I need your help, and I need you to give me another clue. And she's going to try and see if she can cast message to mantra.
Does you clicked
Oh,
me.
did I hit mage hand? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There we go. Message.
There we
There
go.
we are. I was going to say, that doesn't look right.
And you don't get you don't get any sentences or anything back.
Okay.
But you do hear your name.
That's
and
enough.
It sounds strained. Like the voice sounds strained.
She'll just kind of sit and stare off in the distance for an unknown amount of time before she ends up just passing out wherever she was sitting and wherever Ransom stitched her up.
And Ransom and Sandor, are there any last things you would like to take care of before the end of the night?
Nope.
We're good.
Oh, good.
Ransom's just gonna curl up on the bench
And
into like a tiefling ball.
Sandor will post up in a chair and snooze.
And the rest of the night, and actually most of the following morning, passes pretty much without incident. You all basically sleep until like noon.
Normal.
Ransom has
Not
never slept
normal.
this much in his life.
You do recognize that you probably went to bed as the sun was coming up, though. So, and clearly you were all tired and needed the rest. If you're not used to sleeping in, you feel like your body just kind of gave in and absolutely had to sleep. You felt completely drained by the time the night you actually went to bed, almost falling asleep on your feet. And you wake up the next morning to the smells of brunch. Lawn's Delight, you have a little bit of a headache.
Yeah, her first thing is going to be she's going to get up and want to take a glass of water. She's just going to go straight for the pitcher and start drinking. But that first gulp, I imagine, will taste just like a good time. And there'll be a moment where she's just sort of like... But then we'll continue down the water.
You hear Fletch call from the other room. Those of you who are sleeping kind of in the living space, hear Fletch call from the kitchen, just like, invitations are on the table. You guys can have whatever food here. We have a couple hours, or the festival's supposed to start in an hour or two. So you might want to, get yourself together. You can use the sauna if you want. Just, I wouldn't go all the way into the hot spring.
Hot
Okay.
spring?
Oh, that's right. That's a thing.
That sounds amazing right now.
Ugh.
Yeah, actually.
Like, I imagine
Yeah.
Monster Light's woken up with, like, lots of dents and, like, skin marks where she's been laying in, like, armor.
She
You actually have
so sore.
you actually have the imprint of some embroidered flowers onto your face from like some decorativeness on the pillows on the bed.
I'm getting in the hot spring, definitely. After breakfast, though.
Hey, Fletch, what's this festival for? What's going on? Why do we need invitations in the first place?
Yeah, so these are good questions. So the Festival of the Fallen Star is apparently a thing that happens here like every like millennia or something. It's all on the invitation. I don't really understand it, but the invitations, the actual ones, have some kind of magic on them that make, I read it and I really wanted to go. And I think when I talk to people around town, it seems like everybody was so intrigued that, they showed up. But I don't really know what to expect either. This
So
has
it's a
never
big
happened.
party. Nobody knows what the hell it's about, but everybody wants to go?
That's not.
I mean, did you see the
suspicious at
kind
all.
of people that it drug out here?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, have
Yeah.
you seen yourselves?
Fair.
That's supposed to mean?
I mean, we're an eclectic group here in Dusk.
Why is there a dusk when there's a dawn? Why is it mirrored?
It's a great question.
And
Has it always been like that?
I mean,
like, which one do you actually live in?
I actually live in Dawn. I think I got here the first time by mistake.
The first time. So how often does this switch happen?
It's a little random. I don't know, but that's why people avoid the lake.
Okay.
You swim in at the wrong time of day, and suddenly, poof.
The lake is a portal.
Well, we weren't even in the lake. We weren't even near the lake.
We were in
No.
a cave and we got dumped into the lake.
We were halfway up the mountain.
You were halfway up the mountain?
We were in a cave.
Yeah, we
What cave?
I don't know. There was murals and shit on the wall and food
Our
and stuff.
guide took us there. Yeah, there was this big table and this fireplace, and it was just this big open cave, and she said she couldn't come in, and then when she came in, she like exploded into radiant light.
With
was really
wings?
weird. It was really weird, and then we all fell asleep, and the
And
world tilted. And we were drowning, basically.
And there was a blizzard. I remember there being a blizzard.
Yeah, that's what got us into the cave in the first damn place.
So anyway, everything's been great.
That
Yeah,
was a lot. Sounds like you guys have had a rough go of it.
I mean, I did get stabbed after being transported here, so you could say we're having a great time so far.
I mean, I don't know about
Yeah.
you. I got free food. Had a hike up the mountain.
I don't know what god has your all's names on their mouth, but I wouldn't want to be any of you.
So, the trees talk around here?
In the snow?
I don't know what you mean about the snow. I mean, it's always kind of spring here. Every time I show up, it's kind of like this.
It's always spring here. Is it always winter and dawn?
No, I mean Dawn's the real world, right? This is not.
So is this a different plane?
Yeah,
Must be.
basically, as far as I understand it. I don't know. I'm not one of the fancy types. I literally tripped into this place.
It might be a demi-plane, not necessarily a full plane.
You are saying words I don't fucking understand. And my head hurts, and I'm not even drunk enough for that to make sense.
There are a lot of other realms of existence, but there are some that are kind of half-worlds.
Yeah, you lost me. Don't care.
I give up.
Cool.
Lon's delight is just stuffing her face with carbs. And drinking water.
And Fletch is drinking like straight black coffee and like a piece of buttered toast, like just staring at all of you.
Sandor's drinking the coffee that he doctored. And munching some breakfast.
And he kind of hands out the invitations to you all, and they're just kind of plain paper in a blue envelope. And it just says, you're cordially invited to the Festival of the Fallen Star. And it talks about fun and libations, free food, entertainment for adult ages. And it, says, come on down to Dusk. And it does, in very fine print on the bottom, it just says, if you agree to attend, whisper your RSVP and you will be transported to Dusk. But you don't feel any magic coming off of these particular invitations. And Fletch shows you his, and he's just like, I got mine and ended up back here. Thankfully, I'd already been here, so.
So, does anybody, how did you get your invitation?
It appeared on my bedside table one morning.
Okay.
But, between dawn and dusk, and I'm used to odd things happening, so I didn't think too much of it.
Right. Yep. Dawn, dusk, weird shit. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
As this is going on.
So I heard somebody mention the trees earlier.
Yeah, they talk apparently.
Yeah. Just don't set anything on fire.
Yeah, no, we definitely didn't do that, but one of them, some big ass oak tree, said hey and called me the Wanderer, so that was weird. Do they just give nicknames out?
I've never heard them say anything other than hello to me.
Okay.
They know you're special too, Sandor.
Lonsdale, you think we're all special?
Yes, that's accurate.
Oy vey.
Thank you very much, Kettle Strom, who donates 200 biddies.
Yay!
That's 2 temp HP if you want to dish them out.
While this is all going on, Ipsis is taking extra bacon and putting it in her pocket for later.
Are you even gonna wrap that up?
Nope.
So you like your bacon with a side of lint?
I've had worse. I've had a lot worse. So this can't be too bad in a couple of hours. Pocket bacon snack. Something for the road.
Still,
Okay.
you could wrap it in some paper or something, Ipsis.
It's okay. She just shoves it. She's got a little pocket on her thigh of her pants. She'll just shove it right in there.
It's her bacon pocket.
Bacon pocket.
Okay, I'm going to go and get in the... I'm gonna go and get in the hot spring for a bit.
And
Sure.
Don't drown.
Lancelot, as you get up and you have been watching Ipsis kind of shove bacon in all of her pockets, you notice the glint off of that dagger, and it seems familiar to you.
Ipsis?
Yeah? What's up?
What's that dagger at your boot?
Oh, this? Well, last night you were a little bit too hammered to realize that I got stabbed. And I'll hand it over. We were leaving the midnight tavern and everybody was walking ahead and I was following behind like I usually do, and a couple feet out the door I felt it go into my back, and that we ran here and Ransom stitched me up while you passed out. So yeah, I don't know where it's from. I don't know whose it is, and I don't know why I was stabbed.
Lancelot would like to inspect it. Why does it seem familiar? And also, thank you very much. 1 goes to Ransom and 1 goes to me for the 2 temp HP.
Thank you.
Roll that investigation check for me, Scrat. You immediately recognize the handle of this dagger as belonging, originally at least, to your father.
Oh.
The last time you saw it would have been when he was trying to teach you how to throw it.
I know this dagger very well. And
You do.
I think just out of maybe a little bit muscle memory, but also she'll throw it so it sticks in the wall. That's my father's dagger.
Wait, what?
Your dad? Are you sure? Are you really sure?
It's very distinctive, don't you think?
I guess so. But who?
So, why would your dad or someone working for him or stealing his shit try to stab Ipsis?
Who is your dad?
This is Scrat hastily checking the DMs to see if we named him.
He's my dad? Obviously.
Did we name him, Kelly?
You named him.
Oh.
I did
I
name.
sent it to you.
It's in the chat.
Yeah, yes. His name is Farinux. Ipsis, you may know of him if you were in a Thieves Guild. He opposed the Thieves Guild at every turn.
Was he anyone of note?
He was pretty famous,
For
being an assassin.
Great.
oh boy.
You know, he was trying to create the perfect assassin with me and my sister. Oh,
Who's the
oh
weirdest
no.
label?
Oh no, no.
Oh, your sister.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh dear.
Oh, so you're telling me that now your whole family's after me?
Oh, this is ironic.
Well, I mean, they could be after you because of your Thieves Guild connections. The knife could have been meant for me, but if my sister threw it or my father threw it, I very much doubted they
But-
wouldn't miss. It could
But
just
to
be a
be-
message.
But to be fair, I haven't been a part of the guild in years. It's been maybe 5 or 6 at this point.
Okay, Farinix and Shimmer, they don't miss. So they didn't want you dead. Otherwise, that would have buried itself in one of your lungs or your heart or something. This was a message, maybe? Maybe they want us to know that they're here?
Do you have bad blood with your own family?
Oh
I mean,
no,
would they
I'm
be hunting
totally fine
you?
with them, you know, sacrificing me to demons and stuff. That's just fine.
Yeah, there seems to be some history there.
What about with
Yeah.
your sister, though?
I,
Could it be that your old family is attempting to kill your new family out of jealousy? Just wondering.
I really wish I'd
Well-
been able to help Shimmer.
You were a victim too.
She was too good at being an assassin. Too good.
This is why I say family is shit.
This is where I agree with you and hate myself.
You love it.
No.
Anyway, beside the point.
This is no time for you two to be cute.
What
So-
about this is cute? No, don't answer that. I don't want to know. There's serious things going on anyway.
Well, I mean, if Mantra knew what was going to happen, then it's got to be a connection with the guild. It's got to be something that they are putting on my shoulders or trying to get back at somebody through me.
Probably trying to
Especially
get
if I haven't been active in years. I don't even think I've run into any of them since I left. I mean,
Okay.
I would have known if I did.
So we know potentially where the dagger came from now. Is there any way you can contact your old mom and ask her if she's got any connections to this guy?
That's a
Well,
real...
you
You mean me?
see,
Oh no, Ipsis, oh thank god. I was gonna say, you don't want me to
Yeah.
contact my mom, that's a really bad idea.
That does sound like a very bad idea. But
Yeah,
here's
no.
the thing.
Well,
Your
So-
mom was a big shot in the Thieves Guild?
no, she wasn't a big shot. She was just the person who kind of did all the training. She was a little bit older and, she was training people to be leaders once
Okay,
the
besides,
leader passed.
can you get
Beside
in
the
touch
point.
with her or not?
Well, okay, so I may have gotten in contact with her last night. I don't know if it was her. Well, I knew it must have been her because I tried to send her specifically a message, but all I heard in return was just my name. And it sounded strange, and it didn't sound like she was healthy or in a place where she could even talk. So if she's around, she's gonna be around here. She's gotta be in Dusk.
You heard her in some kind of distress and didn't want to go investigate?
It was in the middle of the night, and I didn't feel like it would be the best to do this alone. And I
That's when
didn't want to
you
leave
wake up.
Monsolite away. I just figured we could all talk about it in the morning, and I could sleep on it and try to figure out what was going on.
Your sense of urgency leaves a lot to be desired.
I
Yeah,
question the sanity of you right now.
I panicked. Okay, I panicked. I really
It's-
thought I left all this behind me once I left. I
Okay,
left
well,
Logically, nothing ever gets left behind, no matter what you do, even if you change your name.
I guess you have a point.
I always have a point. Haven't you realized that yet?
easy.
If
She
we
had
want
a
to go
knife
look,
thrown at her back last night. Calm the fuck down.
if we want to go look, I sent the message in the direction of midnight, and that's where I got the note, and that's where I heard the voice. I don't think she's there, but she's got to be within range.
I might be able to try
What's
something.
range?
100 or so feet, maybe 120. But that goes back into the woods.
Okay.
She could be held up somewhere, especially if it's rogues I'm dealing with. They could have her hidden almost anywhere, and we may not be able to see it. We'd have to
might-
search.
I might be able to help.
If you guys don't mind, I would really appreciate trying to go figure out if there's anything around, or if she's around. Maybe I can try to send her a message again.
Just give me a minute. Kelly, could I cast the spell that I just clicked?
Yeah, sure. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, had a feeling.
So are you asking about going to look for mantra?
Yes.
You would describe how this looks to everyone else for me.
Ransom pulls out a deck of cards, and they're very ornate. They're black and silver, and they gleam. And he starts shuffling the deck, and he's going to lay out 3. And then he's going to flip each of them to try. He shuffles them for about a minute, and he's kind of muttering under his breath, just quiet enough that you can't really make out the words. And then he's going to flip each of the cards while uttering a prayer to the Raven Queen.
And you get back your reading itself gives you back this both good and bad. This idea that like nothing's really going to maybe happen.
Okay.
But you also reaching out to the Raven Queen, you also get this feeling that you need to just wait.
Okay.
That you get this sense from her that right now you wouldn't find anything, but it's worth looking later.
Okay. Not yet.
Don't go looking for her yet.
Not yet.
And
Ooh.
We won't
you're
find anything.
You're positive?
I'm as sure as I can be.
Magical bullshit, I guess, right?
Pretty much. But one of my favorite forms of magical bullshit.
Okay. Well, we do have a party we're invited to.
Okay, so
I
what?
s-
We keep an eye out for Thieves Guild stuff. We keep an eye out for your stuff. We keep an eye out for my family. We keep an eye out for everything. So pretty much normal, huh?
As normal as normal can be, I guess.
Right. Well, if you see me duck and cover, it's because he
The
pulls up
sister.
Johan's sister showed up. Or Johan, actually. Don't if you see him, also don't tell him where I am.
What does he look like again, other than pretty elf boy?
Really pretty. Really sweet. Kind of dumb. What?
Predictable.
You don't seriously expect me to remember every pretty face I sleep with, do you?
I think I'd be aghast, but I was hoping you'd remember this one, seeing as you got punched, but almost punched by his sister and then had a slight conversation with him.
It was not super important. We're kind of dealing with bigger shit right now.
I'll give you that.
Well, if we still plan on going to this party, I think it might be in my best intentions to not go looking like me.
That's a good plan.
Oh,
Fair.
Genuinely.
would you like it if I dressed you up a bit, Ipsis?
No, I think I've got that taken care of myself. You just have to remember that I won't look like me, but it's me.
Okay. Are you using magical or practical?
Magical. I'm hoping that it won't be too noticeable in this environment with many people watching many other people.
How long will you be able to keep it up?
An hour or so. I mean, I can do it multiple times depending on how long we stay, but just kind of in the thick of it, I feel like it might be our best option.
I am very good with powders if you want to look like someone else.
If I run out, I'll definitely need your help.
Okay.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go back to midnight and get my other clothes so I can get out of these.
I think you look very nice, Sandor.
Yeah, but if shit gets south and I don't want to get in a fight in these are the nicest clothes I have.
Did you at least hang up your other ones to dry while you were gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna go back and get his ratty clothing.
I am actually going out to the hot spring.
So Sandor's going to kind of head towards the door and head out, try to head back across the street to midnight. Lon's Delight, meanwhile, is making her way to the sauna room, which you guys had seen back in Dawn as well. This room off of the main shop that's kind of got steam coming out from under the door. Lon's Delight, you go in and it looks like there's some stairs down, and it actually looks like there's kind of like a natural grotto here, with this maybe 6 or 7 people could comfortably sit around the edge of this hot spring. And the room is full of steam. As you step into the water, you feel a tingle kind of coming up everywhere the water touches, and you feel that a lot of the bruises and the aches and the pains that you have from the night before seem to go away. You feel very rejuvenated just by stepping into the water, even briefly. Ransom and Ipsis, what are you doing while Sandor is headed out the front door?
I'd probably make my way to the hot spring as well, crudely tying up my hair because I don't wash my hair.
Right before she goes in, he's just sorry for snapping.
It's fine. I get everybody cares, and
I don't
know-
care.
I get you don't care. However, I know my reasoning sometimes isn't the best, and it's good to be called out on it. But
Yes.
sometimes
But
being
we all
called
know
out on
I'm
it
not.
also sucks.
And we all know I call out people a little too much. Do not
Yeah.
tell Sandor this conversation happened.
It did not happen.
This is why you're my favorite. And then he's gonna go into the sauna.
And
I'll follow right behind.
All three of you have the same feeling when you get into the water, that everywhere the water touches feels better than it did the day before. And Sandor, however, as you've managed to kind of collect yourself, maybe grab your last swig of coffee, and don't know how much coffee ratio it really is anymore at this point, but and you head out the front door and you step out and you immediately see that town is covered in black and white tents everywhere. There's noise from every which direction happening, and you see people kind of starting to come out of their homes and enter out onto the main road where all these tents are set up. You see booths and stalls, often one corner with people selling things. Another section you see the water ganassi from the night before dancing with someone who seems to be breathing fire. There's a juggler. There's a ring with someone who seems to have cats with them that they're having jump through hoops and kind of dance and do tricks for treats. You can just walk straight through over to midnight. It's not crowded yet, but clearly this festival has sprung.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna try to make the quick trip as he quick as he can, just to get back over there, get changed, and return with all of his stuff, so that he doesn't just like walk off into the party and abandon the group. Also, he's got 0 money, so also wouldn't be very beneficial to abandon the group.
So you can kind of go get your stuff from midnight if you would still like to, and make your way back over to the group. But as you walk through the crowd, you see some you recognize, maybe a few of the faces from last night. Thankfully, not your elven friends at this point. And it looks like people are slowly making their way to the far side of town. Not from where you came up, but where you know that there's a larger clearing before the woods begin. And people are kind of whispering excitedly amongst themselves about everything that's going on. It doesn't look like any of the tents are open quite yet, but people are like trying to peek through and not having a lot of success.
On his way back over, he'll kind of he'll walk at a bit of a slower pace and just sort of listen amidst the crowd, just see if he picks up any interesting tidbits amongst the whispering and the talking. But other than if he doesn't hear anything super exciting, he's just gonna carry on back to the shop.
You just hear people say like the kickoff, the announcement is supposed to be over in the clearing. How do you know that? I don't know. That's what everybody keeps saying.
Okay, noted. And he will head back to the rest of the group.
I believe are all sitting in a sauna together.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see how that plays out.
Yes, so would I.
Well, probably whoever comes in first, Lon's Delight is definitely full of submerging all the way as close to the hot spring as she can get.
Ipsis won't go above like where the stitches are. Also, she never gets her hair wet, so she never will fully submerge in water unless she can help it. But she's just sitting there, and so how was your fun night of drinking, Mom?
Lonsdale will kind of come out from under the water with like hair slicked back, like drenched. Oh, Hipsis, I did not realize you were here.
I'm just getting my feet wet, mostly trying to relax and kind of my shoulders stiff.
How's the headache?
Oh, you too, Ransom. Welcome.
Well,
It was awful. As usual, you try to drink to forget the one thing you want to forget, and instead you forget everything else and can only remember the things you regret.
What were
do
you
you
trying to forget last night?
Isn't that obvious?
Look, the flirting fiasco could have gone much worse, I assure you. She could have dumped that drink over your head.
She seemed pretty into you, to be really honest. She offered you a job. I know that's not exactly what you wanted, but, you know, that's interest at least of some kind.
Gives you the opportunity to get closer to her, if that's what you want.
Exactly.
Connections are dangerous, but hey, who am I to judge?
She was off asking an awful lot of questions, though. Especially about what you do, but maybe she was just interested. Maybe she had a genuine interest. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Why would a dancer be interested in a fighter?
You can protect her. Where maybe she can't protect herself.
Maybe she's attracted to strength.
And you do have that mothering charm of taking care of somebody that's, you know, attractive to people. Maybe that's what she's looking for, especially to protect her and whoever else she said needed to be protected.
But
Maybe
like,
she just wants to feel safe with someone.
That too.
I mean, I literally bought her a drink, and she seemed impressed that I bought her favorite drink, but then immediately ran off to go and like do a song, you know? We only really talked about work, and then off she went. I don't think there's anything going on there.
Believe me, it could have gone worse, and even I think there might have been some interest.
Next time, use the pointers that you learned from this, and maybe it'll go better, and you won't have to get as drunk to not forget.
I mean, Ransom, you and Sando told me it was going terrible.
It was awkward, and slightly painful to watch, but for some reason she seemed to enjoy your awkwardness. So perhaps it's just what she likes. Everyone likes something different. You were awkward, but in a way it was because you were being honest.
Oh, and just like just below the water. Oh.
Ipsis will kind of awkwardly shuffle her eyes around and look at Ransom. So what are you into, Ransom?
Huh?
Like, you say everybody likes something different. What are you into?
No.
Who are you into? No?
No.
Okay. And she'll just kind of move to the other side. Just be like, okay. She'll just like swim across.
Good effort.
I try.
What are you into?
Ipsis, as you swim across and the water is kind of splashing up on your back, you notice that your shoulder feels real good.
And with that, she'll, when she gets to the other side, just kind of sit and sink now to her neck, like where her chin is, to see if it does anything to her stitches.
And you feel really tingly, is the best description. Like, it feels like... It doesn't feel like sharp, like a needle or a bee sting, but it feels prickly. All over. And then you pull yourself back up out of the water, and your shoulder seems fine.
Is Ransom? Are they the stitches? Are they still there?
I guess he'll go over and look.
Nope. It looks pretty much healed.
You are healed up.
Oh. Well, that happened a lot quicker than I thought it would.
That's quicker than it should have happened.
It's gotta be the spa, right? I mean, it
Probably.
just happened, so it's gotta be the spa. It's magical water.
Maybe it's healing Launcelight's hangover too.
I do feel pretty good in here, to be fair.
Good.
Anyway, I am about done. Ipsis, Ransom, please turn your back so I can go and get dressed.
I turned my back. And then after she gets out, I'll just get up, kind of shake off, grab my bundle of clothes, and like go into whatever room or space there is to change.
It's probably like the most vulnerable Lonsdelight looks is when she's running to get her clothes. Like,
and you'll see that it looks like there's some areas in the wall of this kind of underground cave, basically, that looks like they've been maybe more like hand carved out as like little spaces where you can kind of change privately. And right about now, Sandor you hear the door of the shop open and close upstairs as Sandor kind of comes back in and is looking around and doesn't see anyone.
I think a reasonable assumption they went to the hot spring because he knew that's where Launcelight's was going.
Mm-hmm.
And you know where to go, and you can kind of look down there and call down there if you want to.
So he'll set his stuff down, tuck it in a corner, and head on down there.
Ransom's still in there.
probably find Lonsdelight outside strapping things onto her body.
Yep.
Feeling better?
Yes, actually, the spring is very good.
Great.
Ransom is in there at the moment. Ipsis too.
I got out.
Oh, are you with us?
She doesn't know that.
I'm just saying, for the sake of everyone knowing.
Great. I'm not in the mood to get punched today, so...
You're learning.
Anyway, looks like the party's already starting outside. Everybody's saying something about some opening ceremony going on in the clearing.
Do you think armor will be good enough to go to a party in?
I don't know if it's that kind of party. But you dress like that pretty much everywhere anyway, right?
Well, yeah, but I could shine it up or something. I've been to galas and things before.
Alright, well, we still have a little bit of time. Give it a polish.
Maybe I should change.
Into what?
I have lots of things in my bag.
Just wondering. I'm hardly one to talk. He definitely looks like a vagabond again.
And Ipsis, you join the two of them as they're chatting, and Ransom, you hear that Sandor's back, and you overhear something about the party starting.
Yeah. Ransom will get out once Ipsis and Launcelot are both out, and he will get dressed into his finer clothes and will actually pull his hair out of his face for once in his life, so his bangs aren't covering his damn eyes. And after just kind of a couple minutes, step back out and join everybody.
I was gonna say, yeah, I changed into like my lighter affair clothing and kind of like wrapped my head in like this scarf thing I have.
Oh, no, that's it. Look, they're both dressing nice. I'm gonna go get changed, and Lonsdelight's gonna run back towards the house where she left her bag, and Maybe she'd have like a dress or something. Nothing too nice, but you know.
I mean, I think a spare change of clothes for an alternative occasion would be exactly the kind of thing you'd find in the mum bag. So, feel free to.
Fair.
Okay.
I feel like she'd have like extra sweaters.
I think she's got a dress which is like one of those dresses that is of it's cut like something fancy, but it's made of really practical materials. So it sort of is like a one dress fits all kind of, you know, like just like a maxi dress, like just like the one dress fits all. She's got that.
Is everybody dressing up for this damn thing?
It's this or armor.
Yeah, I don't want to wear my winter attire anymore. I'm sweating and it's uncomfortable.
He will accommodate by shedding his coat, which was meant for the cooler weather, and just go with the shirt and breeches. And the shirt is definitely unbuttoned till like just above the navel, because why button it? That's silly. Why would you do that?
It's warm outside. It's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Comfy. Why bother?
It's festival attire.
Exactly. It's everyday attire when you're Sandor.
And you guys are able to kind of stash your things. Fletch doesn't seem to be around anymore, but you maybe hear him making some noise from like out back or something. And you're able to kind of head out the front door, and all of you are faced with these rows of black and white striped tents on basically every open green space of every size. However, Standor, the people that you had seen performing on what looked like makeshift temporary stages seem to have all gone, and you can hear kind of the crowd that's gathering on the far side of town.
Guess we go that way.
After you then.
He starts walking.
And as we start walking, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self. And I'm gonna same height, same build, but I'm gonna be human. I'm gonna have long black hair and pretty much the same attire that I have with like green eyes. As human as I can make myself look.
You look like you'd be my sister.
I'm just trying to blend in, you know. We got one human, might as well just have another.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess if anybody asks, we're related.
All right, I'm your sister. And I'll just like give him one big pat on the back.
Cute.
Okay, sis.
And you pass through kind of looks like one section of the fair that's set up with a lot of booths. It looks like they are selling everything from kind of knickknacks to fine jewelry. There's a booth that looks like there's scarves displayed. There's another that looks like it's got different herbs and stones that you would need to cast certain kinds of spells. There's even a book vendor. But most of the stalls seem to be like they're closed up. There's like sheets over them, and they're seem to be locked up tight. You can just kind of see in display boxes what kinds of things they're selling. And you move through, and you end up at the far end of town in this large clearing, and it's really just like a big open space. In the far side, you can see the tree line. But there is a very large tent set up on one side. Doesn't look like it's intended for kind of everyone to go inside. It's not like the main circus tent, but it looks to be much finer than the rest. There's some kind of symbol on the front that you can't quite make out. And it looks like everyone's kind of gathered in a half circle around the front of this tent where there's another kind of makeshift stage set up, like they're waiting for something to happen.
Guess we'll go with the crowd.
Seems the best course of option at this moment in time.
Just kind of weave in there.
And you see the crowd is just, or you hear the crowd kind of whispering and murmuring, and then you see as the tent flap begins to open and everyone gets hushed. And out in the front, out of the tent flap steps a tall 6'2" figure in a black hooded cloak, who kind of steps forward and walks up the stairs of the stage and takes a very dramatic pause before dropping the cloak on the ground. And underneath is a man in kind of black leather. He's wearing a fine black shirt, kind of black pants. It looks like he's got some leather armoring on him. He's wearing a white kind of vest. And he's a very handsome man. He has very chiseled features, black, spiky hair, blue eyes. You notice almost that his skin somewhat has a shimmer to it. As he pauses, kind of almost striking a dramatic pose. Before he says, "Welcome to the Festival of the Fallen Star. My name is Tristan, and I'll be your host." And he kind of waits to see if anyone reacts.
Oh no, don't be a panto crowd. He doesn't deserve it.
He goes, "As you can see,
So cool.
we have a wonderful set of events for you laid out this evening, and tonight, when the moon is high, we'll all be able to celebrate and watch the starfall occur together on this magical evening. And I hope that you find everything you could have ever dreamed, everything you could have wished for in the magic within our tents." And he steps back a little bit, and he kind of waves a hand, and you see from either side of the stage there are different types of performers who come up. There's a woman singing in one corner. There's dancers and acrobats and jugglers. There's a few people doing kind of illusion magic tricks. And they disperse, and one more time Tristan takes the center stage and he waves a hand, and you actually see people in the crowd duck as this large illusion of a dragon flies over the crowd, swooping down and then disappearing to the other side.
Not bad.
Ipsis will like tap Ransom and just be like, I was in a circus once. This is really cool. A lot nicer than what we did.
It's actually pretty cool, yeah. The dragon wasn't bad.
I can do that too, you know?
Can you?
And I'll flash her really quickly my deck of cards.
I'd like to see that someday then.
You might. And I'll put them away.
And as Tristan takes the stage and he claps his hands and the dragon leaves, the crowd that had some members of which had kind of ducked, but then quickly realized that it was an illusion, kind of stand up and look around like, yeah, I wasn't scared, right? You know, everything's fine. And he just says, you know, let the festival begin. And he snaps his fingers and disappears in a dramatic puff of smoke. And I believe that's where we will end today's episode.
for very suspicious players.
Oh no, I'm just delighted.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm just like, this is the coolest.
I'm not just delighted, I'm Lon's delighted.
Oh.
The player here is delighted. Ransom is always suspicious.
Kelly, this is so good.
So good. Oh my god, your storytelling is so beautiful.
Hey, welcome. We are Nerdsmith coming in right at the end. Welcome. We're just about wrapping up. Kelly, this is seriously just like catharsis for me. I love it so much. You all are great to roleplay with. I really enjoy this. Well.
I'm still delighted. Oh, I love that. Sorry.
Let's take a moment here. You guys, I'm going to direct you all over to the links in chat. You might still have a little bit of time to get merch on the store. I'm not sure if it's still up or not. It possibly is not. The season 2 stuff's finished now, so you can still look at our regular merch. Check out all the other links. We've got Bird and the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press, who are our sponsors, whom we are very grateful to, because they make all of this possible. We're going to head over to the Discord now, where we'll be talking about this game for a little while. And yes, I think Lon's Delighted is a wonderful raid cry. I approve of your suggestions.
Perfect.
We'll be back tomorrow now at 2 p.m. Until then, keep on evoking emotions, everyone. And we'll see you later on. Bye!